Come in and let's sip this tea. Girl, come talk to me. Come on in.
Girl, come on in here and talk to me. Sit on down and relax your body.
Come in and let's sip this tea. Girl, come talk to me. Come on in.
Girl, I'm gonna tell you about the perfect week and how God keeps blessing me.
I'm here for you. I'm here for you. No matter what you're going through, let's chat. I'm here for you. I'm here for you. Girl, you know I'm here for you. Let's chat.
Good morning, Hunty, and welcome back. Hey, girl, hey, honey, hey. It is your girl, Miss Leda, and I am back with yet another video. Now, this video was requested by one of my subbies, and I was supposed to do this a month ago. However, as y'all all know, your girl has been sick. And so here it is. I am actually getting a chance and opportunity to do this video. So I want to make sure that my girl, Miss Carmela, knows that I did this video just for her. Shouts out to you, big sis. There's nothing that I wouldn't do for you. She is such a sweetheart. But this video is something that is very emotional because here it is decades later and we're still going through trials and tribulations like this. So many things that are going on within the world. I just don't understand why others are finding time to beef with one another when we have more serious things that are going on within this world. So let's get into this video.
Today marks 1 year since the killing of Ahmaud Arbery. Authorities in Georgia say the 25-year-old black man was chased and gunned down by a white father and son. Ahmaud's mother is now speaking out as she awaits justice. CNN's Martin Savage reports, and we want to warn you, some of this video is disturbing.
He's gone, you know.
Wanda Cooper-Jones is still overcome with grief.
To be honest with you, Ahmaud is the last thing I think about at night and the first thing I think about each morning.
A year after her son's death, his case has been handled by 5 different district attorneys. And thanks to COVID-19, no closer to trial.
Should we be worried? No. Justice will come. And I believe as soon as COVID is under control, we will see justice in this case.
Before the police killings of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor triggered protest and racial reckoning, there was Ahmaud Arbery, a 25-year-old black man shot to death, his family says, while jogging in a coastal Georgia subdivision, chased and killed by a white father and son and neighbor in pickup trucks. The men said they believed Arbery, who was unarmed, had committed the crime. We know what happened because one of the men recorded it with his cell phone. Only after that video was made public, nearly 3 months later, were the suspects arrested and charged with murder. Since then, it may seem as though nothing has happened, but that's not true.
Dispatch 136.
This is the video many haven't seen. Police body camera footage obtained by CNN from the first moments after officers arrived on the scene, showing the badly bloodied Travis McMichael just moments after firing the shotgun blast that killed Arbery.
Just breathe, okay? All right. I'm gonna get some stuff for you to clean up with, all right?
You hear the first accounts from his father, Gregory McMichael, and the accused accomplice, William Bryan. All 3 men have pleaded not guilty and remain in jail. In a statement, Travis McMichael's attorneys said, "The sadness and tragedy surrounding Mr. Arbery's death will never be forgotten. We join the community in giving our condolences and prayers for Mr. Arbery's family and friends for their loss." The attorney for William Bryan expressed similar sentiments, but also noted Bryan had been denied bond for 7 months. Attorneys for Gregory McMichael declined comment. The real progress has come not in a courtroom, but outside of it. At the time Arbery was killed, Georgia had no hate crimes law. Following the outcry over his death, it does now. Last week, Georgia's governor unveiled legislation to overhaul the state's Civil War-era citizens arrest law that had come under scrutiny after Arbery's death.
Ahmaud was a victim of vigilante style of violence that has no place in Georgia.
Do you think this case has the ability to unite or divide us? It has ability to do both. And I'm hoping that it will unite us.
Though all of this does little to ease her pain, the progress is not lost on a grieving mother.
I'm sorry I had to lose my son. I'm sorry life has to be taken to get change, but I'm thankful for that.
But change is not justice. And for Wanda Cooper Jones, 1 year later, justice still seems a long way off.
So guys, the first two videos that you are watching or will watch is going to be videos that were taken a year ago. It is now 2020 and this young man has now received justice on a federal level. And so I will be getting into that video as well. But in regards to the new law that was created, I agree with his mother. It is sad and hurtful that she had to lose her son, but it is a blessing that his name will never be forgotten and that people will always remember him because of what transpired. And it can bring about justice for others because they have this law now into place utilizing his name. So that is one good thing that has transpired throughout this whole entire ordeal. My heart truly goes out to this mother because when you lose someone who is extremely close to you, that feeling or that missing link never goes away. It's something that you always feel. You learn how to cope and deal with it on a daily basis. However, the memories and the thoughts of what transpired never leaves.
To the guilty verdicts, I'm joined by Ahmaud Arbery's mother, Wanda Cooper Jones, and her attorney, Lee Merritt. Wanda and Lee, thank you so much. Wanda, our hearts continue to go out to you, but I was struck by some of the comments that you made earlier today. When you walked out of court today, you said that back in 2020, you never thought this day would come. Today, your son's killers were brought to justice. What does that mean to you?
That means a lot. It means that my prayers has been answered. Early in the case, back in 2020, it was 74 days without an arrest. And we finally was able to go through a lengthy trial and get justice for Ahmaud. The day was a very good day.
And Wanda, what went through your mind when you heard the judge say guilty for the very first time? I can't imagine the relief, what you were feeling at that moment.
Again, we waited 74 days without an arrest. If I'm on arrest, we went to indictments. And to hear that the accused murderers were actually found guilty, I mean, that was huge. We finally got the justice for Ahmaud that he deserved back in 2020.
And Wanda, what is your message to other mothers of black children who are watching right now and fearing that their own child may never get justice? And I wonder if you've thought at all about other mothers who have been in your circumstance, who have had young men who were sons killed by police in cases where there wasn't justice. And I just wonder what your thoughts are on that.
Yes, I often think of mothers like Breonna Taylor's mom, Tamika Palmer. We have a Tatiana Jefferson over in Dallas, Texas, that she's getting ready to go into trial. But a lot of these families don't get justice. And my message to those families is to don't give up. Keep pushing, keep fighting.
And we're a day before Thanksgiving. Ahmaud will not be with you at the Thanksgiving Day table tomorrow. What thoughts go through your mind when you think about what you'll be experiencing tomorrow on this Thanksgiving? You have to be thankful for justice, but your son will not be there. Can you talk to us about that?
This is the second Thanksgiving that we will be without Ahmaud. But at the same time, this is the first Thanksgiving that we'll have with justice for Ahmaud. So I'm taking tomorrow as a very thankful day, and I give all praises to God.
And what kind of man was he? What should people know about your son?
Ahmaud was love. Ahmaud was a kind young man, and he definitely didn't deserve to lose his life in the way that he did.
This mother waited 74 days. 74 days. Can any of you guys imagine waiting 74 days for someone who recorded the killing of your son to be arrested? I could never imagine that. Like I say, my heart truly goes out to this mother because she has endured so much, and to wait 74 days for someone to even be arrested is mind-boggling. And then to hear her say that her son was love, that means she thought so highly of her son that she knew that he was loved unconditionally, not just by her, but by others, because that's what he symbolized. That's what he represented every single time that he walked out of the doors of his home. Love.
Hearing this, that the jury has found all three men who killed Ahmaud Arbery guilty on a federal hate crime charge. Want to get your reaction to that before we go out back to our reporter Nadia there on the scene.
Well, the jury has spoken, and this federal jury has determined that these three defendants, the McMichaels as well as the Bryant, are guilty of willfully interfering and intimidating Ahmaud Arbery and depriving him of his rights. Why? Because he's African American. Why? Because he is Black. And the jury has finally spoken and called these three men what they are, and that is guilty, and that they were motivated by racial hate and anger and animosity.
Talk about the symbolism here in this verdict, because these men were already facing life behind bars, right? Nadia, what more can you bring us, and if you can delve deeper into the symbolism of this verdict here?
Yeah, be honest. So I want to break this down for you. Had the interference of rights, right, which is one of the charges. All three men found guilty of that. And that's something that we saw in the video, how they used their vehicles to trap Ahmaud Arbery on that street. And he didn't have anywhere to go. As the prosecution lawyer said, if he would have went onto private property, he would have been on private property. That would have been a crime. So he had nowhere to go on that public street. They trapped him in. And Travis McMichael said to police, "We trapped him like a rat." That was repeated over and over again in the courtroom. We also saw this charge of a conviction, guilty on all counts for all three men on kidnapping. A lot of people have this image of kidnapping someone like Hollywood, where you throw a bag over their head and you take them off. It doesn't need to look like that in order to be kidnapping, and that's what the jury found. And then the last count was on having weapons being used during the act of a crime, a violent crime, and those were charges against the Travis McMichael and Gregory McMichael. Roddy Bryan did not have a gun, so he was not included on that count. But the jury saw this exactly the way the prosecution wanted them to see this, that these men were motivated and fixated on race.
Okay, y'all. So my sis wanted my thoughts and opinions in regards to this story. This story is a very tragic story. And although justice was served, it does not mend the broken heart of this mother who lost her son. It does not stop the pain of us as African Americans who still deal with hatred on many levels because of simply the color of our skin. At the end of the day, people fail to realize no matter what is going on, if someone was to cut any of us, our blood still bleeds red. You would see the white meat if you cut us. But why is it that people still only see the color of our skin, black? That's something that is still mind-boggling. And then for us as African Americans to have so much animosity and anger towards one another, it needs to stop. It needs to stop. We have beefs that are unnecessary because we don't like what someone said or how they felt the need to display themselves. But yet we have others killing us and trapping us like rats, as this man referred to this gentleman. Trapping him like a rat. Not having any concern for his human life. Not having any concern for the fact that he's a man just like they were men during that time frame. Only thinking that he possibly could have done something, but not knowing for sure, and still ending this man's life and using the phrase over and over again that they trapped him like a rat. That's so sad. That is so sad. They thought so less of this man that they still to this day cannot say that they harmed this gentleman, this African American gentleman, and that they took his life for no reason. The only thing that they refer to is that they trapped him like a rat. Y'all better get right, people. None of us know when God is coming back. None of us know when he may say, well done, good and faithful servant. We can be here 1 minute and gone the next second. And with things like this going on, now is the time that we need to unite and fight back. Because this has been going on for decades. Instead of fighting one another over frivolous beefs, we need to be looking at stories like this and making sure that they're brought to the forefront. Not just for African American people, but any people who have been served an injustice. That's my thoughts, y'all. I hope you guys enjoyed my thoughts and opinions in regards to the Ahmaud Arbery story. I am so elated for this mother to be able to get justice on a federal level as well as the state level, and to be able to get a law made in regards to the inhumane actions that took place in the death of her son. Until next time, guys, I am your girl, Miss Leda, and I wish you nothing but blessings, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Peace.
Man, let's sip this tea. Girl, come talk to me. Come on in.
Girl, come on in here and talk to me. Sit on down and relax your tired feet.
Come in and let's sip this tea. Girl, come talk to me.